Yeah, so everyone, we'll be starting very soon. Please turn on your camera if it's possible, do so that Ajahn can see you. Okay, let's all pay respects to Ajahn together. But
so, how is everybody?
okay.
Sunny, how is everybody?
Yes.
Yes? No?
They look okay.
Yes, more or less okay. Where are the other?
Yeah, we're waiting for this.
Who is missing? I mean, they are these are newcomers. I mean, two.
And another guy.
Yeah. I mean, there are so few times nowadays, where I give instructions, or where I answer questions. I mean, even though I say, it is not necessary to come. I mean, out of self-interest, they should come. Yeah? I mean, we come here to practice, yeah. And most of us, cannot practice on their own. They need instructions. Yeah? And they need some motivation sometimes. Yeah? Sometimes we need, some hitting on the back, I mean, in order to wake up, and go on. Yeah? Here in this monastery, just like in Wat Papantat, as Luang Dhamma said, this is the forest university. I mean, there's no formal meditation courses. Yeah? There's no formal walking meditation. There's no formal sitting meditation. Everybody is free to walk as long as he can, or sit as long as he can, and then change to another posture, and then sit and walk again. Yeah? I mean, there's an interruption in the morning, before the morning, I mean, we try to sweep around the sala, yeah? And then we have a meal, after the meal we clean up the sala, and that's it, yeah? And then in the afternoon we clean the monastery, we clean the toilets, yeah? And then we have a little bit of pana, yeah? And that's it. And then the rest of the time, yeah? Mostly 20 hours is for your own improvement of your practice, yeah? I mean, do as much as you can. Yeah? I mean, there won't be so many monasteries, even here in Thailand, that practice this way. Yeah? Sometimes, in most of the monasteries I hear, I mean, you have chanting in the morning, you have chanting in the evening, and then you have formal practice and this, yeah. It is here. This monastery is made for people, who really want to go further. Yeah? And what we are practicing here is the Fourth Noble Truth. Yeah? And Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, I mean, we keep the 8 precepts. Yeah? When we are monks, we keep the 227 precepts. When we are novices, we keep the 10 precepts. Yeah? That's it, and we don't wiggle around. Yeah? We just keep them, yeah, and that's it, yeah. And then we practice samadhi. And samadhi is in the practice of, I mean, either with the Buddha, with the attention on our kamatan, yeah? That be it the Buddha or be it the anapanasati, Keeping our attention on the breath, or keeping our attention on the Buddha. Yeah? When our attention, goes away, goes into thoughts and memories, then we bring it back. And that's where we need all the effort. We need the effort to bring the mind back to our kamatan, our basis of practice, our object of attention, or awareness. And this we do, as much as possible. Yeah? From the morning we wake up, yeah? We don't have any work, that requires thinking. Yeah? It requires, opening our eyes and seeing what is going on. Yeah? That's also a practice of awareness. Yeah? Seeing what is going on, seeing what needs to be done, and then we do it. So the attention on the breath or the attention on the Buddha, the moment it goes away, we bring it back. And that's where we need all our effort. Because the mind wants to go and think about this, and think, why is this thought coming, or why is this memory coming, and then it goes into thinking, and then before we realize it, half an hour of our practice has gone, thinking about this, thinking about that, before we realize, we are not with the Buddha, or we are not with the breath. Then we go back. We don't punish ourselves, we just, instantly we notice it, we go back to the breath, or we go back to the Buddha. That is the practice. And once the mind gets calm, once there are no more thoughts coming in, or no more memories coming in, then we rest, we gather all the energy that we gather in Upachara Samadhi, and once we come out of Upachara Samadhi, then we can do the investigation. So that is the third part of the path, Panya, developing of wisdom. And what we develop, what we investigate is the five khandhas. That's what we are attached to. We don't realize that we are attached to, but we are attached to the body. Everybody, everybody, no matter where he is in this world, is attached to this body. If we are not attached to this body, we would not be born. It's like, it's like, people in the world, who are not attached to the car, they wouldn't have a car. So we are attached to this body. That's why we are in this, in this situation we are. And if we don't get rid, of our attachment to these things, we will have another body. And then another body. We are born and we die, and we born and we die. Endless time. There's no stop to it, unless we make a stop to it. And this place, it's good to make a stop to it, So with the first thing, we investigate, the body, And with the investigation of the body, investigation of, the body is not self, The body has a driver, and the driver is the chitta. Just like the car has a driver, The car and the driver are not one and the same thing, Without the driver, the car does not move. Without the chitta, when the chitta is quiet, or when the chitta is completely absorbed, the body does not move. This is something we have to understand. The chitta is the prime mover. The chitta moves this body. If it itches, the chitta moves it. Moves it to scratch. If we feel uncomfortable, if we need to straighten up, it's the chitta that straightens up. The body doesn't do anything. Except for breathing, and blood flow, heartbeat. That's what the body does. It's not completely mechanical. It's a biological robot. And this is something we have to understand. We have to understand. We have to investigate it. How the chitta moves the body, or when the body moves. We have to investigate. What came before that. The chitta moved. When the chitta moves, the body normally moves. And that's it. We have to separate ourselves out. That is the first thing. Once we know, we are the driver, or the chitta is the driver, and the body, is the car, then we can separate ourselves out. And see, we are not the car. Whatever happens to the car, it does not happen to the chitta. If the body gets hurt, it doesn't necessarily mean that the chitta gets hurt. But most of the people, I am in pain. I am in pain. Instead of saying there is pain. Of course we notice. If somebody if you sit in the car and somebody scratches our car, or we run against a pole, of course we know it. How can we not know it? And we feel sorry, of course, because we need to mend it. It's the same with the body. But we certainly do know, if we get out of the car, and the car might get stretched, but, the driver is not. This is of utter importance. It is of utter importance. It is one of the, it's one of the fetters, and the biggest fetters, that we have to cut down, in order, go to the first stage of liberation, the stage of Sotapanna. This is something we have to understand. For people who don't know it, there are 3 fetters that we have to cut in order to get to the stage of Sotapanna. When we are here in the monasteries, we do believe in karma, we do believe in the results of karma. That is the first fetter of doubt. We believe in heaven and hell, that there's heaven and hell, that there are beings in heaven and there are beings in hell. This is the first fetter. Now, most of the people in this world, they are stuck with this fetter. They don't believe in heaven, they don't believe in hell, they don't believe in karma, they don't believe in the results of the karma. They believe somebody else did it onto us. No. Nothing that is happening to us, somebody else has done unto us. It's all our own doing. If we realize that, we can live a happy life. That's it. The second fetter is not keeping the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts, are essential. The Lord Buddha said, if somebody keeps the 5 precepts, he can come back as a human being. Not only as a human being, if you do something a little bit more, you can even go to heaven. But if you don't keep the 5 precepts, you will sooner or later end up in hell. This is as clear statement as can be possible. But normally people in the world don't believe it. So that's why we keep the 5 precepts. It helps our meditation as well. If you're going, if you don't keep the 5 precepts or hear the 8 precepts very strictly, it will come up in your practice. The moment you go very, very quiet, the mind becomes very quiet. The kilesas, who guide us, to go against the 5 precepts or to go against the 8 precepts, come up and tell us, you see what you've done, this is not good, and then our practice of samadhi is gone. Then we have to go back to the beginning. So the best thing for us, also for our samadhi practice, is to keep the 5 precepts or the 8 precepts. So that is the second fetter, to constantly fiddle. One day we take it, the other day we don't take it, or this moment we take it, and then next moment we break it. Taking it, breaking it, taking it, breaking it, that is the second fetter. And the third fetter is trust. Some people think, the third fetter is, to completely get rid of the body. No. It is the view that we have, that we and body and the citta are one and the same thing, or we are the body. We are born in the body, we die in the body, and that's why we believe we are the body. But this is an investigation we have to do to separate ourselves out. The Lord Buddha at the time, when he started teaching, he knocked at our car and said, "Get out, and see that the car and the and the driver are not one and the same thing. That the citta and the body are not one and the same thing." In this, if we can mend these three fetters, we can advance to Sotapanna. And Sotapanna is a relief because, when we know it, what the Lord Buddha said about it, at most we are born 7 more times, That's the most, Within these 7 more lives, we can attain to Nibbana. This is a relief, From the perspective, of endless birth and death. So we have to attain to it. At least, we have to put all our emphasis in this life, because we don't know where we end up in the next life. Maybe we go to heaven, maybe we go to hell, maybe we become a ghost, maybe we go to the animal realm, we don't know. We don't know what kind of karma we have in store. It is not only the karma that we have in this world, or that we acquired in this world, it is also the old karma that we have from previous life. This is something, that's why I say, be very careful, in your human life. We have 24 hours, and we can do a lot of harm, we can do a lot of good, within these 24 hours and, however many days we have in our life. So separate yourself out, the first 2 fetters, Normally for people who come here, they are okay. So we work on the third fetter. Yeah, first we work on samadhi, to get the mind extremely calm. Yeah, and to gather energy. It is like to focus. To be able to focus on one thing, being aware of what is going on, and then investigate. Separate the body from the chitta. I talked often how we can do it. We sit there, with our eyes closed, and then we cut off, parts of the body and put it in front of us. Mentally, not physically. You can't put them back together when you do it physically. So, and then see, what is watching, what is observing these parts of the body. And what part of the body is the body? It's just body part. There's no body. And then we assemble it again, and then we disassemble it again, and we assemble it again until the realization comes. The chitta and the body are two different things. That's all. That is all what we need. Yeah, inclusive. Samadhi, the attainment of samadhi. To be able to cut the first three fetters and enter Sotapanna. And there's some people, some people in the West ask, why are you not going to the West and teach the people in the West? Why I'm not going? Because, before we can even start our practice, we need to have some three requisites, And the three requisites, here in Thailand, they are there, it is generosity. The people here are very generous. Yeah, people are very respectful here. Yeah? It's respect, and they are also grateful. Yeah? And when I go to the West, these basic things are lacking. Yeah? And that's why I can't go to the West. If these basic things are lacking, we don't even need to start samadhi and investigation. Yeah? Because these things are lacking. It's also these three prerequisites, are important, for if we want to go to heaven, inclusive, the 5 precepts. These three prerequisites, are requisites, for going up to heaven. This I really want you to understand, And I want you, who are here in the monastery, should really take up this opportunity. It is really precious. When I first came to Wat Papantat, I've been to many monasteries before. I came to Wat Papantat and I said, finally I find a place where I can practice as much as I like, or as much as I can. And nobody tells me, okay, now 1 hour walking meditation, 1 hour sitting meditation. Now I have to do this, now I have to do that. We have very little work, there's hardly any distraction. There are not many people coming here. So, it is a perfect place, it's quite isolated, So use the time, use the time wisely. So you got what I'm talking about, Sani? And the rest of you who are listening in?
Yes, Dhanaja.
Okay, go ahead, and ask your questions.
Okay, so anyone with questions to ask live to Dhanaja, please raise your hand. Okay, Yusuf, you want to go a bit? Amit,
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to ordain as a monk, and I have argued a lot with my mother. And finally, she told me that I am free to do whatever I want. I am old enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's obvious that she feels that I don't have to do it, and I am in the evil path. And I am worried about how she will handle the situation if I go away from her. And on the other side, I don't have contact with my brother, and it's almost impossible to talk to him. Do you think that with this situation it's okay to ordain? And what advice can you give me?
It depends on what country are you from?
I am originally from Morocco.
Morocco. Don't we have
Yeah.
a Moroccan here?
Yes.
We have a Moroccan. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that
came to the monastery.
No. I mean, I think Morocco is fine. Yeah. So you can. There's no problem for you to be able to ordain. Yeah. The problem is, if you can stay here. If it is really the thing that you like. So that's, I mean, we just saw it, I mean, if people stay here for 3-4 months, they suddenly, their inclination was to come to ordain, and then suddenly, they leave, because it's not the right thing for them, So you come, before you ordain, you come here, for 3, 4, or 6 months, and then see if it is to your liking, And then, after that time, if you still feel, it is okay, then you go ordain, You're old enough, probably, you're over 21, so I mean, you have your permission from your mother, and if you can't get in touch with your father, it's also okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
Next. Anyone has your questions? Yeah, Barbara. Maybe Barbara. Yeah, okay. Yes.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. I seems new, but I just would like to thank you, first of all, because I've been listening to you for about 3 years, and I would like to thank the people they were recording every recording, and I would like to thank you that this recording I'm able to listen because I come from Slovakia.
From where?
And
From
Slovakia.
Where? What was it?
Slovak.
Oh, Slovakia. Oh, I've been in Slovakia. I mean, 2007.
Oh.
I made a tour there. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, but a long time ago. Okay, so go ahead with your question.
I was in UK in 2007, and I learned to meditate in Buddha Patipa Temple in UK, in England.
What town?
I moved here, London, in Wimbledon.
Oh, Wimbledon. Yeah, that's the old temple. Yeah, it's a Thai temple. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
And I just would like to ask. I have a daughter now, and here, as you said, it's very Christian orientated.
Mm-hmm.
And I just would like to. I do not want to push her. I just want to let her free to choose. But she is not orientated Christian. She is nor baptized or nothing. She's nothing.
That's okay.
But I just would like to sit with her and start. She is 9. If you can give me, please, some advice. If I should seek some help, or if I can just introduce her to small meditations or.
Yes, I'm sure that you can do it, but she has to do it. Yeah, I mean, just sit there, and invite her. Do you want to sit and meditate with me? I can tell you what to do. Yeah, if she doesn't want, don't force her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I would like to.
she has her own mind. Yeah, and if you force her, actually, what you do is, I mean, you drive her away from Buddhism. Yeah? If she sees that you are meditating maybe for an hour or for 1.5 hours, she might get interested. Yeah? But you cannot tell her, to sit down and meditate while you don't do it. Yeah? You have to be the example. Yeah? Okay?
It is very, if I may ask a second question, thank you for that. It is very limited in here, and I often end up meditating myself, meditate in a closet, and there is not much chance to meet other teachers in Slovakia. And if you can suggest if I seek and go to groups and to join group meditations, because I often get stuck in a meditation.
I don't know about. I was in a meditation center in Slovakia. Somewhere in the mountains. Yeah. Find something. There are sometimes group retreats. Yeah. Within Slovakia. I'm sure. They still probably keep it up. Yeah. Slovakia is not far away from Vienna. Yeah. So you could go there. There are some meditation courses. Yeah. Just take a meditation course. Yeah. Yeah. Meditation group. They are normally. I wouldn't suggest that too much. Yeah. But a meditation course, where people come together and exert themselves. Try to meditate. Try to get calm. That is a very good way. Yeah. And then afterwards you separate, and then you sit back, in your house and home, yeah. And if you feel the need, then you go to another retreat, yeah. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much for all that. Thank you.
Carlos, unmute yourself.
Washington. It's very early in the morning. Yeah, I know.
It is 3:31 in the morning here. Hello, Bante. Hope everything is fine. Your health is in good state, and everything is auspicious for you.
Thank you.
So I wanted. Yes, go ahead.
No, I want. What kind of question you want to ask? There's a lag. There's a time.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yes, I wanted to ask you. Well, I hear when I try to meditate, or even if I'm just going by myself in some activities, I have like a permanent soundtrack in my head all the time. Most of the time, I hear music. I stopped actively by myself hearing music like about 5 or 6 years ago. I used to do it a lot before, all the time. And I just renounced that. I stopped. I gave everything away. I got rid of all my music and everything, and I stopped. But then I continuously hear music all the time, and it just gets reignited when I go to some place and I hear music, and then I will, even when I'm trying to sleep, then it goes to music. When I try to meditate, there it goes for a long time. Before I used to get irritated by that. Now I discover what's the point of getting irritated. That is just affecting me directly. So I just try to stay with it until it goes away. It is really persistent. Sometimes what I do is, normally I use my breath most of the time. That's my preferred method. But sometimes I use the Buto or some other type of kamatana to just to make it go away. But it's very persistent. So I wonder, is that like some type of vipaka from my actions, previous actions or something. It never goes away. It's really persistent.
Yeah. You have to wait a little bit. You have to have a lot of patience. Yeah, but yeah, as you said, you were listening to music and you're really interested in music. Yeah, so there's still this interest. Yeah, so there's a little bit when you meditate, and the sound comes out. Some of your interest, some of your awareness goes to the music. Yeah. And this part of the awareness that goes to the music, you have to redirect towards the Buddha or towards, the breath. Yeah. When you do the Buddha, yeah, feel like the Buddha is the music, so you can combine it and be more interested in the Buddha. Yeah. The moment you put your attention on the music or on the sounds, that are there, they become amplified. And the more they become amplified, the more our interest goes out. Yeah. So you have to put the interest back to the Buddha or back to the breath, yeah, and let the music, combine together with the Buddha or with the breath, yeah. You understand? It takes a while, it takes a while. It takes a lot of fiddling, to find it out, yeah. So don't go out, go inward, yeah. And because if you're really with the Buddha, you don't hear the music anymore. It slowly disappears. But if you have some interest, is the music still there? The awareness goes out, and it finds it, of course. Yeah. So don't even worry about it. Yeah, worry about the Buddha or worry about the breath. Yeah. With the Buddha, it is actually interesting, once a Buddha, runs on itself, it becomes a form of music, yeah. But, a rhythm that is very, very easy, it is just like, just like a prayer, just like a prayer in a huge cathedral, yeah. It's, and then you can feel it, yeah. So the problem that you face... The problem that you face is that your interest in the music goes out. The part of, you're with the Buddha and then you think you hear something and then this interest goes out, this awareness goes out and finds it. Huh? Instead of letting it going out, you stay with the Buddha or stay with the breath. Yeah?
Very good, Bhakti.
Okay?
Thank you.
Try it out.
I wanted to ask you another thing. So, a few days ago, I had like a really good meditation, and I was able to really focus on my breath, really empty my mind. And I came to that point where you start to feel like there's no more breath, or it's going away, or it's really fine. And there was this type of inclination to be afraid and didn't know what to do, but it just I came up again. I guess I'm not sure how to express that, but it was like I was not feeling panic or anything, but I guess I couldn't go through the point of not being afraid or of what's going to happen. Although I prepare myself to whatever, but I guess I have to keep on trying and see if I can make the breakthrough.
Yeah. It is a difficult point, yeah. There are two ways, yeah. There's one to take before you sit in practice, yeah. Take away this fear, yeah, that comes. Yeah? If I go to sleep, I don't know what is happening. Am I still breathing when I am asleep, or am I not breathing? Yeah, you don't know because you're asleep. Yeah? This is, you can take this fear away. Yeah? The other thing is, instead of focusing, on the fear that comes up, or the breath becomes so small when the breath disappears, what is happening? Focus on what is actually happening. Be interested. You feel. You do feel that the mind gets really concentrated into a tunnel. Yeah. then just jump into this tunnel.
Yeah. I've been hearing some of your talks, and you sometimes talk about that, and I like I said, I kind of like prepare for whatever happened, but it just that I just came out of, I don't know how.
That is the normal way, I mean, for most of the people, this is the way it happens. Yeah. If you are more interested, as I said, there's one thing, we prepare ourselves, whatever can disappear, let it disappear. Then there's no fear, yeah, and we remain with whatever stays on, yeah. The other thing is becoming more and more interested what is going on, yeah. And sometimes we do have to do this jump, yeah. I mean, for me it was being interested, and the interest led me into deep samadhi. But then, later on, it became, I was feeling, what am I going to do now? Yeah, and my venerable teaching master said, I mean, once you know that the breath has stopped, yeah, and the breath has not yet stopped, yeah, I mean, you feel that the breath, it gets less and less and lower, yeah. Don't even worry about it, wait until it stops. And when it stops, when it really, the knowing comes up, it has stopped, and then jump into the knowingness. If the breath slowly disappears, that means also our interest slowly disappears in the breath. So push more interest into the breath, be more, how is it breath at the moment? Yeah, I mean maybe you can overcome this problem.
Now that you mentioned sleep, Bhante, after, like a few days after I had that experience, I was sleeping, and then I woke up and I felt this really, really profound vibration all over my body, and it felt like expansive. But and it felt kind of like, whoa, what's happening? Maybe am I dying or something? And I relaxed, and I said to myself, if I'm dying, that's fine. Let's see what happens. I just relaxed into it. But then I started, I just, concentrated on what was happening, and just I was just quiet, looking at it, or not looking at it, kind of like feeling it, experiencing it. And then I started to feel like there was like somebody watching me from, like, it was kind of like feeling when I kind of felt when, like, if I was in the jungle, I was kind of like a deer, and I was watched by tigers. And it was like this sensation of those presences were really dark, really, like, very, I mean, like they were there to kill me if they see me or notice me. And I had to be like really quiet, and like not only in the body, because I was kind of like in that state of I didn't feel my body, but it was like my mind, I need to keep my mind quiet, otherwise they will jump on me and attack me. And that stayed for a long while until they went away.
Yeah.
So do you have any comments on that?
This is this kind of karma that comes back to you. Yeah. What you did was completely right. You have to be focused on the breath, or you have to be focused on the Buddha. Yeah. The moment your awareness goes too much out to this, yeah, then they have the chance to enter you, yeah, and disturb you. Yeah. I mean, of course, yes, you can feel them outside. Yeah. That is fine. Yeah. But don't let them enter your chitta. So,
you know what I did? I chanted Namo Tassa Bhagavato.
Okay, that's also good. Yeah, and then they are gone.
And it helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helped. It calmed down for a while. After a while.
There is certain fear. Yeah, I mean, what is happening? Sometimes we get our karma back. Yeah, and especially the more we meditate, the more of our karma will come back. Yeah. And some of this karma is this, if we have done the same things to other people, when we were maybe in the demon realm or in the ghost realm, yeah. I mean, if it devas, they don't bother you. Yeah? They don't come with dark forces. Yeah. But if we have been in the demon realm and bothered other people, this karma will come back to us. Yeah. So they will do these things or try to to influence us. Yeah. So that they can have some of the power that we have and they don't have. Yeah. So, Namo Tassa Bhagavato, fine. Yeah. I mean, the most important thing is you keep concentrated and don't let the energy out. Yeah. Don't let the awareness out. Yeah? Because if you let the awareness out and go to them, then they can enter you. Yeah. And then it is more worse. Yeah. Then it is worse. Yeah. The experience. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, oh, that was very terrifying, actually.
Yeah. There are some. I mean, this is just the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You will get used over time. Over time, you will get used to it. The first time is the most frightening, yeah? But then you see, oh, nothing happened to my body, so I mean, everything was fine, yeah? It was just, mind experience, yeah? Or a lucid dream, yeah?
Yes, I guess so. That's why I really appreciate the output that Lunta Mahabua and Ajahn Martin gave to this type of approach of being like a warrior, or feeling like like a kind of like because it is fight.
It is a fight. Most people don't even think, don't realize. And when I was in the West and took up meditation courses, people say, no, it's all about, being well-being, this well-being, yeah? Huh? And I said, no, this is not true. It's fight. Yeah, you have to fight the kilesas that constantly command you to do this or do that. Yeah. So we have to have this fighting spirit.
The wishy-washy, you just have to be cool and everything will be fine. And I never vibrated with that approach, really.
Okay.
Okay, Bante, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else would like to ask you questions? Oh, Paula? Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Okay, speak. Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is my first time on Zoom. So I'm very new to the practice. My son is teaching me. And my question is more dealing with human relationships. Primarily my family, my mother and my sister. I know that I have an obligation to my mother to care for her, yet it's a very challenging relationship, and I'm very torn about how much time do I spend with her. What is my obligation to her? Because it's just a very, very stressful situation. Very critical, very cruel. She doesn't understand me. I'm like an alien to her, So I'm learning the precepts, and then I get a lot of guilt when I'm angry with her because she's acting crazy. So I just kind of want to understand I don't want to create any bad karma. Like, I'm trying to clean my karma. So
while you clean your karma, you create karma. I mean, it can be good karma or it can be bad karma. I mean, we do it all day long. That's why I said, I mean, in the beginning, 24 hours a day, every thought is karma, every action is karma, every word is karma. So, I mean, we have to be careful. Now, you have to find an open heart. Then, if you find the open heart, then you can communicate with your mother on a completely different level. Yeah? Your mother will understand you if you open your heart. But you have certain views and opinions about your mother, just like your mother has certain views and opinions about you, and that's why you clash. So you free yourself, you just listen, not thinking about why is she doing this, or why does she say this, or why that. No, listen with your heart, and that is something that you have to really to train, and you can only train that with samadhi, listening to the Buddha or listening to the breath, and then just listening without thinking, without memorize to your mother, and see she needs something, but she cannot tell you, or she is not able to tell you what she actually needs, Your obligation, to your mother, take care of it. But you have also a sister, share the taking care of it, and so on, But your frustration, your stress is coming from yourself. You want to have a results,
I want everything.
And that is the stress that you create yourself, if you're open-hearted, you don't want anything. You're just listening. You're just aware of the things going on.
Right. Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, John.
Yeah?
Nice to see you.
Okay.
It's me. So last time we talked, I tried to listen with my heart and not my head, as you recommended.
Mm-hmm.
And the big message was, in kinder words, I just need to shut up and practice. That's what I felt you were telling me, So I guess I'm violating that by asking you a question. Well, the Kalesas are trying to tell me, I guess, well, you can't ask me more questions. I'm like, well, that's an absurd response, right? So I'm just trying to find another layer. And so the layer that I came to with, my fear and anxiety and blah, 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 it was actually the first question I asked you on my first call back in February was, when I was scared of death, what do you feel? And it was this feeling of guilt. And I keep coming back to this guilt, right? If I die, I've screwed up somehow.
No.
And,
no.
Sorry, what?
No, you didn't screw up.
Well, well, it's like obviously, I have to die. But it's like I was supposed to do X and Y before it happens. And,
That puts you in a stress situation.
Yeah.
If you see every minute of your life, and make the best out of it, that is the way to go. Then you don't have to be guilty, I couldn't accomplish this, or I couldn't accomplish that. Because if you think, I have to accomplish this, or I have to accomplish that, that's put you in a stress situation, and the stress situation doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel guilty, because you did not accomplish it. And while you're in stress, you're not aware of what is actually going on in your life. If you use every minute, I do the best out that I can with this minute of my life. I try to be as aware as possible. And I go. I have a goal that is important. I cannot walk with a life without a goal. I know the goal. And I know the path to this goal. And as long as I walk this path to this goal, I'm on the right track. If I reach a goal or not reach a goal, that is not within my possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay. We put ourselves too much under stress, especially in the West. We want to achieve this, achieve that. No, I have to. No, this is really, counterproductive to your practice. Just go the path, one step.
Okay. And the other guilt is just seeing how demonic it is inside. You know, like, it's evil. Like, it's really bad. But I haven't really done that bad in my life, in this life. I don't know what I did in my last life, you know, but I've been a pretty good person in this life. I mean, if I have to be objectively honest, and I'm pretty hard on myself. But the closer I get into the core, it is like, I see like atrocities in the world, and I think, that's not bad. You know, I could do worse. And I like objectively look at how horrible I could actually be. And I've expressed this to other people in a moment of honesty, and they get scared. Like, I just tell them, you know, I don't hurt anybody, but I tell them, hey, these are the things that go through my heart, and they like look at me like I'm crazy, you know. So, am I like a uniquely evil person, or am I just being honest with myself? And
you are honest with yourself, but you shouldn't tell that to other people.
yeah.
And you have to realize that the thing that you do not yet realize, that these are thoughts, and the thoughts don't belong to you. It's not you. I mean, there are, and especially you live in an area where there are lots of these kind of thoughts around you, and you pick them up and you think they are your thoughts.
Like a radio frequency? Like I'm
yes.
just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean, you know, there are a lot of radio towers around you, you know, I mean, especially Ukraine or the area, Romania, where you're living, yeah? So, I mean, there are a lot of evil thoughts, you know, I mean, people, you know, I mean, the Ukrainians who want to kill the Russians or whatever, yeah? So, you pick up these thoughts, and then you think these are your thoughts. No. If you are in a completely different, environment, these thoughts would not come. Because you are far away from these radio towers. So the mistake that you make is that you think these are your thoughts. And with this, you create karma. Yeah? You attach to these thoughts, you know, and then, of course, they will come back on its own. Yeah? So just think of it. It's a cloud. It passes away. You know, it has nothing to do with me. Yeah? It's a black cloud, it's a white cloud, it's a blue sky, you know. Whatever happens, use the principle of anatta. Yeah? There is a thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is a thought. Yeah? I mean, I see the thought, but I am not the thought. Yeah?
So that's like a second layer of anatta, because for me it was, I mean, it's a practical subject or practical application, but it was always a little bit philosophical. But then now it's like, no, it's actually someone else was fermenting it in their mind, and then it's passed, and I was just having to pick it up. So it literally wasn't mine. Like, not just philosophically, like someone else created that sankhara. It's formless, so it was passing around, and then I grabbed it.
Yeah.
And are certain people more frequency opened than other people?
That is certainly possible. Now, what you can do is, I mean, if you're going with your friends, and they have a nice conversation, I mean, retreat yourself, you know, go inside yourself, and then see all these. You can see all these emotions. You can see all these thoughts, you know. I mean, in this area, in this room, You can pick them up or you don't pick them up. Yeah? And sometimes your own thoughts, you know, will be picked up by somebody else. Yeah? He will say the same thing. Yeah. He will say the same thing that you just thought about it, and then he will pick it up and put it out loud. Yeah. So make these exercises and see, you know, I mean, most of the time it has nothing to do with you. You just attach, just like you attach to the body.
Now that you mention that, I mean, all my life I've been pretty good at predicting what someone's about to say, or, you know, I can see what they're really feeling when they're acting completely different. So I guess I've always been kind of doing that, but I've been interpreting it as mine, which is the opposite of what I should do. So,
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mm.
Yeah, Ajahn, there's a question from the chat.
Yeah.
Read it. Thank you. Dear Long Paul, can I double check with you? Whatever that comes up during our meditation session, be it seeing the Buddha image, we should just ignore and go back to our meditation object. Is that correct?
You can do it. You can also, focus on the Buddha image while you do the Buddha. That is okay. Yeah. But I mean, you can also disregard it, and just focus on the mental repetition of the word Buddha. Yeah? Whatever is more convenient to you. But on anything else, I mean, if you repeat Buddha and the Buddha image comes up, I mean, keep them both in mind until you can't keep both of them in mind, until the Buddha becomes so strong that the Buddha image, disappears. Yeah, then you get much more one-pointed. Yeah. That's the whole point, yeah. But if you want to use two, I mean, it is, yeah, just like with the breath, with breathing in, put with breathing in and do with breathing out, it's fine, yeah. I mean, sooner or later, once the mind gets calm, it doesn't want to concentrate on two things, yeah. I mean, don't try to push it away, yeah. I mean, if the Buddha image comes up, don't push it away, yeah. I mean, just put your interest more on the Buddha, yeah, or use both of it, Yeah? Tell the Buddha, start your Buddha, Buddha. Whatever, yeah? Okay, next.
Yep. These are the questions submitted online. First question, how will Dhamma help me in my life and career?
How Dhamma?
How will Dhamma help me in my life and career?
I don't know your life, I don't know your career. Dhamma, yeah? I mean, the Dhamma, if you understand karma, yeah? That is the most important thing to understand. Whatever you do unto others, yeah? Others will do unto you, yeah? For whatever I have done unto others, others will do unto me, yeah? Karma is the thing, yeah? And this is something you have to understand. I mean, don't fight anything, that happens to you, and don't accuse the people who did it to you, yeah, for doing bad unto you, because it is your own doing, yeah, whatever you have done unto others. I mean, only this kind of understanding, once you completely agree to it, once you completely incorporate it in your daily action, I mean, this makes your life, wonderful. Yeah? The understanding of karma, yeah, and also the practice, of meditation, of Buddha, of samadhi, yeah. It makes us more aware of what is going on, yeah? Just like I answered the question of the one from Ukraine, yeah, being aware of what is going on. Yeah? I mean that, yeah. If you have a goal, I mean, we don't, yeah, if we have a goal, we don't see the 18 other opportunities that present ourselves in this moment, yeah. So we go and run after our goal, and then this goal, I mean, we cannot achieve, because, I mean, we missed all the other opportunities, yeah. The more we are aware of all the opportunities that present themselves in this moment, yeah. Perfect, yeah. I mean, this awareness, that helps you in whatever you want. This awareness and this understanding of karma, I mean, yeah, should make your life very, very pleasant. Yeah?
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. There's two more quite general questions.
Yeah.
So, how will Dhamma make me a better person? And the other one is, how can I gain merits and atone for my past sins?
You cannot atone for your past sins. The only thing you can do is, I mean, don't do any more sins now. I mean, whatever we have done, whatever we have created, yeah, be it in words, be it in thoughts, and be it in deeds, will come back to us. Yeah? If we realize it and said, and tell ourselves, okay, I've done this shit, I mean, it will come back to me, let me be open, for receiving it. Yeah. That is one thing, yeah. But we cannot attune for our, yeah, I mean, this is Christian, and this is Christian religion, yeah. I mean, go and ask for the absolution, of your sins. It is not possible. Yeah? But what you can do is, I mean, for the first question, I mean, keep the 5 precepts that betters you, yeah. And that is no matter what kind of religion, every good religion has precepts, yeah. I mean, follow these precepts, and don't neglect them. Yeah? That already makes you a better person. And then the more you understand karma and how it works, yeah, the better you become, because you won't do anything onto other people. Yeah? Before you do something, before you say something to somebody else, ask yourself, do you want to hear that from another person? If you don't, then don't say it. Yeah? Or if you hit another person, or cheat another person, ask yourself, do you want to be cheated? Yeah? I mean, even this, these small principles make you a better person. Yeah? And it is all within the Dhamma. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, yes. Next question is in, I think, German.
Yeah, I can ask that one.
Yeah.
Papst Franziskus sagt, wir befinden uns in einem Weltkrieg. In der Ukraine gäbe es imperiale Interessen. Kommen Sie zu derselben Einschätzung, wie sollen wir uns im Krieg verhalten?
Wie sollen wir uns im Krieg verhalten? Also meine Einschätzung ist ähnlich. Ja? Es ist ich würde nicht sagen, dass es ein imperialer Krieg ist, es ist ein geopolitischer Krieg. Ne? Zwei Mächte versuchen sich da in der Ukraine auf Kosten der Ukrainer einen Kampf auszuführen. Ne? Und das ist immer schlecht. Ne? Wie verhalten wir uns in einem Weltkrieg? Ja, wir versuchen uns rauszuhalten, so gut wie möglich. Je mehr wir unseren Geist zur Ruhe bringen, umso mehr Möglichkeiten haben wir, richtig zu reagieren. Ja? Was ich vorhin gesagt habe in Englisch, ne? Wenn wir nach einem Ziel streben, dann sehen wir alle die anderen Möglichkeiten, die sich uns in jedem Moment offenbaren, nicht. Ja? Und manche dieser Möglichkeiten sind einfach der bessere Weg, als wirklich Tunnel viewed, oder wie heißt es auf Deutsch? Tunnel viewed? Eingeschränkt, ne? Wie? Ein Tunnelblick, einfach mit Tunnelblick auf unser Ziel zuzurasen, ohne nach links und rechts zu schauen. Meistens endet das mit einer Katastrophe. Was das Beste in jeder Situation, erstens, jetzt, wo diese Propaganda vom Westen oder vom Osten oder von Norden oder von Süden kommt, ne, uns da rauszuhalten. Das interessiert uns nicht. Ne? Was andere sagen, interessiert uns nicht. Was in unserem Herz vorgeht, das interessiert uns. Ne? Uns etwas abzuschotten. Ne? Je mehr wir über die Situation außen um uns herum denken, umso mehr beunruhigter werden wir. Und je beunruhigter der Geist ist, umso mehr Schmarrn macht er. Und umso mehr falsche Entscheidungen trifft er. Komm zur Ruhe, geh in Samadhi und schau. Ja? Und entwickelt das. Was ist das? Was ist jetzt Awareness auf Deutsch? Ich habe schon lange kein Deutsch mehr gesprochen. Was sage ich immer? Gewahrsamkeit. Ja? Entwickel die Gewahrsamkeit. Sei gewahr. Ja? Wir sind sehr viel gewahr. Sei gewahr, was jetzt in dem Moment los ist. Und halt dich raus von dem, was die anderen Leute reden, was die anderen Leute meinen. Die Leute haben eine Meinung, andere Leute haben eine andere Meinung und so weiter. Und du brauchst dich mit keiner dieser Meinungen zu verbinden. Ne? Schau, was in deinem Herzen vorgeht. Das ist das, was ich sage. Okay, next question.
Die nächste ist auch auf Deutsch, aber die haben Sie damit schon beantwortet.
Habe ich schon beantwortet. Okay, second question also answered, yeah. Now, so next English question.
Okay. So next question. I am very aware of my mental and physical suffering. How can I use this for meditation?
Well, I don't understand.
He's very aware of his suffering. And
Yeah.
He wants to know if he can use this for meditation somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if you're aware of your mental suffering or physical suffering, yeah, I mean, this actually, gives you a lot of motivation, to do a lot of practice. Yeah, this you can use, yeah, dukkha. You tell yourself, dukkha. It's the first noble truth, yeah. Suffering, I mean, we don't suffer, I mean, it's painful, it's unpleasant, and so on and so on. So say, okay, there's dukkha. It's the first noble truth. Yeah, what is the second noble truth? It's the cause for our dukkha. Yeah, what is the cause for our dukkha? Attachment. Yeah, and then what is the third noble truth? Yeah, there's an end of dukkha. Yeah, and what is the fourth noble truth? That is the path that we follow to end our dukkha, and that is sila, samadhi, panya. Yeah? Yeah? Use it as a motivation. Yeah? The more we see dukkha, yeah, the more we see the dissatisfactory of this whole world. I mean, what does it provide us? Yeah, when we look at when we look at this body, what kind of happiness does this body bring us? It brings us only, it brings us only unpleasant feelings. We try to compensate these unpleasant feelings. For instance, hunger, through eating, sleep, tiredness, through sleeping, and so on. Yeah? What kind of pleasantness bring this body bring? Yeah? What kind of pleasantness does our mental, mental exuberance brings us? Yeah, I mean, we think about this. I mean, yes. Yeah, we think this might be pleasant, but it never happened. Yeah, or our memories. Yeah. Look at that, yeah.
Okay, next question. I would like to meditate longer by observing the breath, but after about 15 minutes, I am overwhelmed by strong restlessness, and sometimes good or helpful ideas come to mind, which I find hard to let go, and I end the meditation. How should I proceed?
What comes to mind?
Good or helpful ideas.
Good or helpful, yeah. And the problem is that after 45 minutes of your practice, I mean, that's 15. After 5 minutes of your practice, the kilesas find some things, to latch onto, yeah. So you have to go back, yeah. All what you have to do is patiently go back to the Buddha, yeah. And emphasis the Buddha, yeah. If you think a lot, the Buddha is the best, yeah. Because while you think Buddha, you cannot think anything else. Yeah? That's the only thing you can do. 15 minutes, that is not even long, yeah. I mean, this restlessness, yeah. This restlessness just means, you have no concentration. And what we train with samadhi is concentration. The first thing is we concentrate on one object, yeah? Be it the Buddha or be it the breath. Yeah? If we become restlessness, it means our concentration is completely out of the window. Yeah? There's no concentration. That means restlessness. Okay? Next.
Okay. Next question. The real pandemic is not COVID, but smartphone addiction. How to get rid of this?
If you have a river or if you have a lake, close by, just just throw it, yeah. Or what else, I mean, don't use it, I mean, to turn it off, yeah. Unless you want to call, or somebody receives a call, or, yeah. Hold him, call message whenever you open your phone, you get the message somebody wants to call you. Yeah? Turn it off. Yeah? And I know in this society, I find, smartphones, yeah, the worst addiction, I mean, it is as pretty much as bad, it doesn't ruin our body, but it ruins our brain, it ruins our intelligence, yeah. We have a brain, to develop intelligence, to develop wisdom, but the smartphone ruins all of this. Yeah? I mean, it gives us only views, opinions of other people, and we are so filled with it that we don't even develop our own intelligence, don't develop our own intelligence. Yeah? So, turn it off as much as you can. Yeah? If you don't need it, throw it away, or take out the SIM card. Yeah? That is all what I can say. Yeah, I mean, these smartphones, people are so hooked on them. Yeah? Now, even in Thailand, I see, even old people, are hooked on the smartphones. Yeah, they're constantly waiting, for their son to call, or for what is grandchild to call, or this to or that, and I mean, it is the perfect tool, yeah. If you want to say it, it's conspiracy theory. Yeah? If it's a perfect tool, of the people who want to control us, for us, they say, here you have entertainment, yeah. I mean, just like in Rome, give the people bread and circus, and you can control it. Yeah? And the circus is a smart. That's where I constantly entertained. I mean, look at the people when you go through the streets. Yeah, when I drive, I see the people, on a motorbike having their phones, while driving the motorbike. I mean, it's so dangerous. Yeah. And practice more. The more you practice, the less you need your smartphone. Okay. Next question.
Yeah. The next question is related to just now.
You can skip this one.
So.
What?
In today's society, you are almost forced to use a smartphone. Propaganda of breaking news is overwhelming me. Can you use a smartphone in a wise way?
Yes, just use the telephone. Just use it. I mean, the easiest way is, in most of the countries, you still get the old phones, where there are these number buttons, yeah. Then just buy one of these, yeah. If somebody wants to call you, he can call you, and you can call out, yeah. And you don't have all this smart shit that appears on your screen, yeah. That is the perfect way, you're still available to the people or to your boss or yeah. But you don't have all the smart shit that appears, and that influence you constantly. Very simple. Okay. Here in Thailand, you still can get them. They're so cheap, 600 baht, what is it? 20, not even $20, yeah? And then you put your SIM card in, and then, people can call you, you can call out, and you don't have all this other things. Yeah?
Okay. Next question. Ajahn, what should lay people do to protect people around them from the side effect of hate that arises from practicing body contemplation?
What is this question?
What should lay people do to protect people around them from the side effects of body contemplation, from the hate that comes up from body contemplation?
You have to be a little bit more specific, how the first thing is, you don't practice body contemplation, while your family is around, while your loved ones are around. You practice body contemplation when you're alone, yeah, and then for the next few hours, once you come out of the contemplation, you're not with any people. That's how you protect it. Yeah? But you have to be more specific, yeah. Not this is general, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the next one is the last question online. Ajahn, there are days when I have feeling of being sad and angry. When this feeling comes, I'm aware of this feeling, and I try to find a way to let go. How do I keep this kind of feeling away and not let it affect my feelings? Thank you, Ajahn.
How can you keep rain clouds that are coming away? Ask yourself, yeah. Look at the feeling, look at what came before the feeling, because there must be something, If you have pot of water on the stove, yeah, and as long as you put some fire or some electricity underneath the pot will be boiling. So the sad feeling, yeah. I mean, if you take the energy out, if you take the wood out of the fire will diminish, yeah, and will go out. So you have to look what kind of thoughts, what kind of memories bring up this, yeah. Before this feeling of sadness came, what kind of thoughts, what kind of memories were in there, and then get rid, replace these memories, replace these thoughts, with Buddha, and the feeling of sadness is instantly gone. Yeah? When you stop your Buddha, these thoughts come in, and then you will see, they will create the sadness and whatever you have again. We have always to look of the cause, yeah? We only look at the effect, yeah? We only look at the sad feeling, the sad feeling. Then we think about the sad feeling that we create more sad feeling and more disturbance and so on, instead of what caused this, yeah? Because if you see, what caused it, we can, yeah? we can protect ourselves from the avalanche, yeah, if we don't throw a stone into the snow. But if we already throw the stone in the snow, we can catch the avalanche very much in the beginning, or, yeah, if we let it roll, it will destroy us. Yeah? That's the same thing. I talk so often about it, huh? Okay? That was the last question. Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions from the people online? Any last question?
Yeah, take the opportunity. If you have some questions, ask them. Yeah. It's getting slowly late.
Well, yeah, I think there are no more questions.
No more questions, yeah. Okay.
We have about 20 questions.
Yeah, we can do some questions that come from the web. Or
Hello, does Buddhist practice lead to a type of knowledge where one knows beyond any possible doubt that a permanent stop to dukkha is possible? Not just a feeling of certainty or an experience that one misinterprets as proof, but one actual true certainty that not only an end to dukkha is possible, but that this end is absolutely permanent.
Yeah, of course there is a proof. Yeah, go into Nibbana, then you know. You can go into the preview of Nibbana, then you're pretty much certain, yeah, that there's an end of dukkha, yeah. Or that these things are permanent. But the only way that you know it is permanent if you reach Nibbana. Yeah? People go, when you think about people, in Europe they heard, in California there's gold, they all rushed there. Yeah? They didn't need proof that there's gold, they just heard that there is gold, and they rushed there. Yeah? If you hear there's Nibbana, go and rush, and then you see for yourself if it is there or not. Next.
I'm going to skip this one for now, it's too long. Ajahn, when I meditate, I get this strong desire to stretch my neck to hear it crack, and it alleviates stiffness. It isn't a painful feeling, but a sort of pressure that builds up, and it's very hard to endure and not give in to desire to stretch my neck. I think this is just a habit because I always crack my joints when I stretch them. If I continue to fight this urge every time for as long as I can in meditation, do you think eventually it will stop coming up?
If you are stressed, of course, stretching. Yeah, if it is in the beginning of meditation, just do it once. Yeah. If you constantly do it, then there's something wrong, and then you have to look at the reason why you're doing it. Yeah. Stretch or crack, you relax. Yeah. In the beginning, in the first 5 or 10 minutes of your meditation, just relax. Relax all the muscles. But then, be quiet. Yeah. Don't do it again. And then, it will take a while, until you. I don't know how long it will take, maybe take half a year or a year, until this urge doesn't come up again. Next.
Because I'm going to try to summarize this one. So this person thinks they're going slowly crazy from meditation. They've been meditating for about 10 years, and they notice that their anxiety and obsessive thinking is just increasing. They meditate on the breath once a day, and then they have mood crashes and become worried and have dark thoughts and blah, blah, blah. They've asked other teachers about it and they haven't really gotten good advice so far. And basically they're asking themselves if this is just their own mind preventing them from going through the practice and going through this hard phase, or if they should be careful because they've heard lots of stories about psychosis and stuff from meditation.
Yeah, if you go to India, a tiger will eat you up. Yeah, I mean, Bengali tiger will eat you up. Yeah, I mean, these stories exist, but that doesn't mean that when you go to India, a tiger will eat you up. No, I mean, forget about all this. What other people say, I mean, what other people say is their opinion. It's their views, Yeah? And their views can be completely opposite to your views and opinions. Yeah. I mean, concentrate on the Buddha, that is much better, and then thoughts will not increase. If you stay with the Buddha, and whenever thought comes, you replace this, but that's where he needs to put some effort in it. He needs to bring the mind back to the Buddha. I mean, then the breath, one time a day, I mean, this is certainly not enough. I don't know how long he does it, maybe 15 minutes, and then it is, it is better than nothing, but it won't decrease the number of thoughts. And worries are thoughts. I mean, replace the thought of worry with Buddha, or whatever, with the attention on the breath. But in his case, in his or her case, he should use, or he or her should use, the Buddha. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Until the thoughts stop. Next.
I read that Theravada Buddhism is more close to the original teaching of the Buddha than Mahayana Buddhism. May I know if this is true?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Theravada means the teachings of the elder. Yeah. And when you look at Theravada, where have all these arahants been? Yeah? And they all were in the Theravada tradition. Yeah? Sri Lanka is a Theravada tradition, not India. Sri Lanka is a Theravada tradition, and especially Thailand. When you look at the number of arahants here in Thailand, I mean, it's a vast number. Yeah? It's more than 100, arahants, who have been. And that means in the teaching of the Lord Buddha is still, pristine. It's not clouded, Because if it is clouded, you cannot reach Nibbana. Yeah? You cannot become an arahant. If it is clear and pristine, I mean, you still can become an arahant. Yeah? And that is what is mostly here, in the Theravada Buddhist countries. Yeah? I mean, what are the Theravada Buddhists? Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. Yeah. Next.
I mean, most of these you can just Google himself, so I'm just going to ask the last one. When it comes to becoming a Sotapanna, does one have to visit holy places like the 3 holy places?
I mean, people have all sorts of ideas. You should climb the Mount Everest, and on the top of the Mount Everest, you shout all over the world, I'm a Sotapanna. No, this is a joke. No, of course not. Don't believe that you're a Sotapanna. That is important. That is the biggest delusion that lots of people have. I'm a Sotapanna, I'm a Sakadagami, I'm an Anagami, I'm an Arahant. Yeah? People believe it, But, I mean, this belief can be extremely strong, It has nothing to do with reality. If you're Sotapanna, you're Sotapanna, and there's nothing else that you have to do except that you have to progress on your path of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. That's what you have to do. Visit holy places is for people, who don't have enough faith in the Lord Buddha. Or in the Buddha's teaching. That's why they go around, look at all these teachers, look at all these places, to become more faith, in the Buddha's teaching, so that at the end they can start and practice. Next. Last.
Okay. So this person asks about the beginning of their sitting, what they should be doing. So for now, they've been doing a body scan in the beginning, which gets them quite calm for about 10 minutes. And afterwards, they switch to Anapanasati. Now they've read that they shouldn't do different objects, and they basically want to know if it's okay to do that or if they should stick just with Anapanasati.
No, I mean, body scan is okay. I mean, do it in the beginning, but then don't go back, I mean, you do it for just like the last question, or one of the earlier questions, I mean, do it in the beginning, for 5-10 minutes, do the body scan, and that body scan also relaxes everything, and then afterwards you stay with the Anapanasati, and don't go back to the body scan, or don't go back to relax this or relax that, That's perfectly fine. Okay, I think it's enough, I mean, it's already 1.5 hours, Somebody's going to fall asleep already.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn, for the Dhamma talk at the beginning and for answering all the questions today. Let's all pay respects to Ajahn 3 times. Okay. See you next session.
Okay, and practice, take the opportunity, if you have the opportunity to practice as much as you can, and don't get so much influenced by what other people say, what newspapers say or news say, I mean, stick to your heart. Okay, have a nice day, have a nice evening, whatever, and see you next time.
See you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Waving. Okay. Your friends.